Welcome to Hofheinz Pavilion, sold out not just tonight, but for the season.
The feel, the atmosphere, the way the seats were, and also the rubber floor. It used to be rubber floor, not the wood floor. And that memory, stay fresh in my mind.
I remember walking in when I was being recruited and to see how quaint and intimate it was, even without having any fans in it. But the first thing that struck me was the tartan floor. The 4 years that I played here, we played on the tartan floor. I was really impressed with the building and all of the red seats, so I was really excited about getting started playing here.
When I started here in '69, we were still freshmen, and so it was all new at that time. We had a tartan court, and you could press your finger down, and it was like hard rubber it would give.
When you think of Hofheinz, you think of Guy Lewis. And this would always be, they can change the name, but Guy Lewis would always resonate when it comes to basketball at the University of Houston.
It's impossible to separate Coach Lewis from Hofheinz Pavilion. You can still hear his voice. I can hear his voice. I walk down the tunnel and I'm sitting out there on the floor, and I can still picture and feel the rubber floor, the tartan floor before we had the wood floor. It's a nice trip down memory lane. And for me, the two are synonymous.
Guy Lewis, who has been here since he was the captain of the first Houston team just after World War II.
When we lost our first game, I just remember that pretty vividly because I think we played the same team the next day, which is very rare. And I remember Guy Lewis had us practicing really hard that next day, and then we won the next game.
We walked through the tunnel, the Hofheinz Pavilion, looking up, looking at all these banners also. When you play for Coach Lewis, you play for the coach because he wants for you to give his best every time because he knows you can give it, and he demands that.
We had a great fan base when I played in school here, 73 to 77. And the acoustics, it could really get loud in there. And we always had our band there before the game. But just the home court advantage that we had, it was a huge home court advantage when I played here. And I just missed the great memories, the great game.
Let's get some slams.
Here comes Drexler. Look at this.
I think of Phi Slamma Jamma, and the high-flying act that captivated America for years. The Final Fours that he went to, the success.
Hofheinz was special. In fact, during the 80s, in all the great celebration we got for Phi Slamma Jamma.
Look at the great memories that fans have of seeing Clyde and Keem and Phi Slamma Jamma. Cadillac, Anderson.
The brand came from the action. We've been doing this in practice for a long time. So when this name came around, I said, wow, it's a perfect description of the kind of team that we had. So once that brand, then we have to also now intensify the dunks, so which make it very, very competitive in practice. And in the game, everybody just try to show how bad you can be on the court, meaning in a positive way.
Very historical to be able to play at Hofheinz Pavilion at University of Houston, where Akeem Olajuwon played, Clyde Drexler, Michael Young, Otis Birdsong, Elvin Hayes. Just to say all of these names that were able to play here, it meant a lot to me to be able to have that opportunity to play at University of Houston.
I think the thing I'll take away the most are the sounds of Hofheinz, from those many nights that I spent in the gym alone, working on my game, getting up shots, and it would just be so quiet in that arena. And the silence was almost eerie. You know, you would look up and see the banners of the Final Fours. You would see, you know, the jerseys of Akeem and Clyde and Michael Young and Elvin Hayes hanging up. And it was almost like the ghosts of those great players was in the arena.
It's very sentimental emotion for me. Growing up here in Houston as a high school player, the theme for everyone was the road to Hofheinz, to get to Hofheinz. So all the playoff games were here. A lot of the high school graduations were here.
Just remembering how great the atmosphere was, all the history that's behind it, meeting some of the Phi Slamma Jamma pros here in Hofheinz. It's just a wonderful arena. And when it gets packed, it's just really fun to watch, fun to play in. It gets really loud, and it's just a great environment.
I miss it though, you know. It's crazy that me and Hofheinz go out at the same time. And she was starting the season. I hit the first shot, Hofheinz this season. So you know, that's something I'll always remember. You know, in the back of my mind. So I appreciate it. It's home for me, and I'll always remember it.
I just remember always going in the gym by myself before this facility was built, and shooting in Hofheinz my freshman year. It was always like kind of a safe haven, a safe place, somewhere you can go when you just wanted to be alone and work on your game. So Hofheinz is definitely going to be something that I miss.
Well, I think it's a great honor, because when I first came, I saw the Elvin Hayes and all the legends I've played in the past.
My favorite memory ever at Hofheinz, my career started there as a PA announcer. But it's hard to pinpoint just one. I will say this, I always loved hearing the band lead us through the alma mater at the end of every game. That would give me chills. But the best memory is actually still to come. Someday soon, when we all gather to raise a national championship banner. It's gonna happen. Go Cougs.